Alright friends, so in this video we will look at feature engineering. So feature engineering really refers to transforming your features to be much more meaningful. So in the previous sections we have analyzed our data from different perspectives, and we would have figured out which are important features, which are unimportant, and which are some features that we better derive a new feature out of them. Like for example, we have considered car name, right? Car name is having too many values in terms of the make and model together in it, and we discussed it is really useful to have only make and categorize the prices according to make, and then the model in itself is explained by other parameters, right? So other technical parameters that we have seen would anyway indicate a different model, and the algorithm will treat that as a different entity in itself. So each combination for an algorithm is unique. So whether we have the model name explicitly in it or not doesn't really matter. Whereas if we have a make as a separate column, we can infer something about a manufacturer of the car. Does they have, how are the price ranges by them? How do their price ranges vary? So that really gives us a useful insight. So we have figured out, we will make a new feature out of it. And it was also, we have also seen that the car price is really skewed towards right, and we have seen that at least 75% of your values are almost towards left centered, right? So it would be really helpful to capture that fact into your columns and features. So if we can actually bin or bucket our price ranges into medium, low, medium and high bucket ranges, so that is also going to give us a useful insight on certain models are falling in one particular bucket, right? Considering that we have that kind of a drift, it is always useful to actually have this as a separate feature. So we would consider things like that in this exercise. So we will introduce car price range as a category, and during this process we'll learn some interesting concepts. And we will transform the car name with the make, and also the car price range once we transform, and the even the door number, for example. Now I have observed that they are actually having numerical or some different data types which are not really indicating their actual purpose, like which these variables are better labeled as string, which are well treated for categorical values. They are not really numeric in nature, so we will actually transform their data types, and we will remove unwanted columns, which we have figured out in the previous section. So we were highlighting it would be good to drop some more columns, but we'll start here, right? We'll start this column and these two columns, and if the results are not so exciting, or if our efficiency is not good, we can always look at dropping much more features and see if the model is better explained by limited number of features, right? So that's what we are going to look at in this section, right? So moving on, in this particular couple of lines, I'm just trying to set an option within pandas that will make the number of columns and number of rows as a limit, right? If we have since we have really high number of columns here, more than 20 columns, it would be good to set the values so that it displays all the values here, right? Otherwise it normally truncates and shrinks the number of columns.